Okay, we're going to continue with our lesson on the four road stepping form. We're in row 2. We're at the very last move in the first section. So I'll just do the first section quickly. Back into the cat, which we spoke about, the stomp kick, the mud step, the pull, the side kick, the pull, down into the horse. Notice in the horse here that I'm not stepping gently. Okay, these are stomps. So we're learning a lot of things just from this one side kick. From here, I've got, just a quick review, I've got a really nice little pull for a destabilization of some kind. It can go into the knee, it can go into the ankle, it doesn't make any difference. Anything that forces their upper body to move. If the dantian moves without them telling it to, you're winning, so you're laughing. So the very first move pulls them in. The side kick, obviously, again, just take a nice stance at me. The side kick, obviously, it's a kick, right? Attack the knee. If you're attacking somebody in bow stance, don't attack them straight on. Make sure that you come out to the side so that you've got something like this happening. That's an awful way to break the limb anyway, which is good for us. So we've got a pull, we've got a kick, we've got another pull, which is sometimes used as a what if I miss scenario. Literally, I tried to pull his leg, but maybe he lifts his foot up. Oh, crap, that didn't work, but he put it back down. Tasty. I tried a destabilization kick. Maybe he steps, maybe he moves, whatever. Boom, that didn't work. Maybe now, though, I can get that last pull on. So I've actually got 3 attacks in a single movement. I've got 1, 2, and 3 attacks in one movement. If you can take the time to train each one of those, everybody trains the power part, the I'm kicking somebody part. Start training the pulls. Then there'll always be options for you. Otherwise, what happens is people tend to throw a side kick. And if the side kick doesn't work, if it misses or blocked or whatever, they sort of have to change tactics. They sort of have to look for something else. This way, there's really a use of the transitional movement. And that's what's most important. If you can understand that Kung Fu is in the transitions, then whatever Kung Fu you already study, you should be able to look into it and see like probably at least twice as much Kung Fu in there. Because every time you throw a kick, for instance, you've got a pull, a strike, and another pull. So all of a sudden, you know all these different foot sweeps and things, if you just kind of look at it that way. Anyway, that's our side kick in the form. The next movement is a stomp. And what we're doing here is we're not stomping our foot. Because it's crap, don't do that. What I'm doing is I'm taking my dantian, moving it over, and allowing my weight to drop. You see how I'm not really moving my leg at all? I'm just allowing it to heavily fall into place, into a good horse stance. Okay, don't end up in some kind of weird whatever. Make sure that you're doing a stepping form. Make sure that you come into a decent stance at the end. Horse stance, 50-50, right? 50% of your weight. If you're a 200-pound guy, you should be able to drop 100 pounds on one of their joints. That should do it. Because a straightened human joint takes between 15 and 20 pounds of pressure per square inch to break. So, you get a bow stance. Very hard to break. Very hard to break. A lot of pressure needed. 100 pounds might do it. Okay? Especially if you've got a destabilization move before it, which is what everything before was. Some sort of destabilization. Bang, bang. Right? As soon as I've got a small destabilization, and as you can see here, this is enough. He's not 90 degrees anymore. If this isn't straight up and down, any weight that hits this joint won't be transferred right to the floor. A percentage of it will be, but a larger percentage will hit the cartilage and meniscus in here, and that's what will blow it to pieces. So when I do I don't want to hit you with this, but just stay there. When I've destabilized, I'll drop my weight right on top of that knee, and that will cause trouble. It'll cause trouble. From another perspective, anytime you move your body through space, like in a stepping form where you're walking from side to side or forward or back, your body is in itself a weapon. One of the reasons that we take the hands out of the equation in this form at a higher level is to understand what's called kao jin. Kao jin means to hit with the body bump. So all of these things going down below, we're not talking about this. Look at how much I'm moving in space. I've moved however many feet here. If I've trained that with an intention to have power in, say, my shoulder, when I do this stomp, because that's what we're on, take a stance. When I do this stomp, if I move directly into him, I should be able to give him a little shot with it. Is it going to kill the guy? No. But it's going to destabilize him. Big word, right? Destabilize your opponent. Drunken boxing is very unstable looking. We're not unstable. We train to look that way. My teacher used to say, "You're already drunk, but you're very kind. So get him drunk too." And that's what he was referring to, was get him drunk. Destabilize him until he's wobbling, but doesn't know how. And then proceed to, give him the whooping that he deserves. So, from here, down. Our next technique is that cross step behind, in this case with my left, into the X stance. Now this is the ghost kick I was referring to. You just strike that straight out at somebody. Is it super great? Depends on the situation. A lot of people are going to look at that kick and go, "Man, it's a bunch of crap." That's cool, might be. However, guys up please. If we're in some kind of a sticking hands type situation, I'll try to keep us so we can be seen. It's all good, Joe, just stick hands in. If I get into a pretty nice position like this, he's got me turning, he's controlling my momentum, he's turning my body. Most people are going to either spin, or they're going to try to regain that control. This kick just allows you a nice little attack that takes place. Look where that's going. That just takes place kind of behind the scenes, okay? That's all you need it to be. That's all you need it to be. It's applicable in specific situations. Practice it with targeting. Find yourself a target. My teacher made these posts in his yard. And just sit there and practice kicking. Always striking with the heel, never your toes. You don't want to damage the foot. But that's a basic two-dimensional ghost kick that's hidden inside this set. Okay? Now in the set, we step through with it. Down. What we do here is we're entering space. So if he takes any stance, whatever, cool, bow stance, guards up. He has a space that he owns. And he's a big dude, so he's got a big space, okay? Basically, right to the ends of his guards, in a sphere around him, is his personal space for martial arts. For me to enter that space is dangerous, okay? I mean, technically I'm in danger here, because his legs can make it to here, but his legs are pretty planted, so his space that he owns is back here. When we enter space, all we're doing is taking our personal bubble and entering his personal bubble purposefully. Not just because it's sort of, I'm fighting, I have to be close. Purposefully entering his space to destabilize him. So this technique that we're doing here, this is a destabilization technique. I'm destabilizing him mentally because I've entered his space, and physically with what we're going to do next. Okay, so we'll do a nice easy one. I'll go behind you this way, everybody can see. When I step in, this could be an attack to the knee, yes, or ribs or whatever. But what I'm going to do is come either behind or in front of his leg. Now the next move in the form is turn into a horse. And that's what I mean by destabilizing my opponent. Doesn't matter what side I'm on, doesn't matter what stance he's in, there's an availability here to destabilize the opponent, okay? As soon as I take a step, here's another nice one where we end up knee to knee. All I need to do is give that knee a little pop. And maybe he'll go down, maybe he won't, but he'll definitely be destabilized. That's what you want, because that's when the hands start flying, right? So that's the kind of the vibe here. The rest of the form, all the way back. So everything's basically the same. The only other thing I'm going to mention before we finish this video is in this turn, there's obviously an arm break. Across your stomach, as we mentioned before. And there's obviously an elbow strike of some kind. Make sense? Okay, we'll continue in the next one. Thank you.